over and over. Oh yeah, let's cut them off right there. St. Ricketts at www.stricketts.com. If there's something unusual tonight, it's because I'm going back old school to the old blue microphone because the main microphone's not working. The internet is sluggish, but we're still here, 100% live. It is, in fact, the You Show. You. Now, Chus is in the house. Yo, good evening, dude. It is good to see you. It's good to have you back. Ivy Lynn Faulkner in the house. Always great to have Ivy here. Last week we were off. Nashville, Tennessee. One of the greatest times I had in my entire life. My wife, Cassie, celebrated her birthday. Not going to say her age. You don't discuss a woman's age. But out there, and we actually missed our first Tuesday night in quite a long time. Anyway, welcome back. This is the Yo Show. I am Jeff the Shark Perini. And if you noticed, solo like Han tonight. Jewel got last minute called into work, so we won't have Jewel. I was supposed to have a terrific guest co-host jump in, Miss Allie Commissaro, and at the last moment, she had computer problems. She couldn't get here. Jewel is in the house, though. You. Jewel is working, but watching while she works. And we love you for it. Good evening, Jewel. Good evening, everybody. So we got a little bit of everything being represented. Jewel representing us on YouTube, Ivy on Facebook, now Chus coming through Twitch, and here we are. Jewel, while you're out there, can you hear me? Because tonight I'm using the old snowball mic. The regular mic's not working. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Jewel, we love you. Thank you. Thank you for everybody that tunes into this program on a weekly basis. And thank you to co-hosts who try. I understand the computer world is a problem, but you know, we're working through it. Anyway, we have a terrific show. We're back after a week off. We have a terrific guest tonight. She is an adorable singer and songwriter, and she's going to be with our program. Her name is Miss Savanna Leigh, ladies and gentlemen. Very different. Can't get the words out. Very excited to have her on. Apparently, she is a Nashvilleian. Didn't get to see her while I was out there. I did see some people out there who I wish I would have said hello to. We'll get to that later in the program. Thank you. Sounds pretty good. Thank you, Ivy. I love that mic. You know, it is a little fuzzy. I'm not crazy about using it, but the other one is just not communicating. We have a whole new computer issue we're going to need. Sounds okay. Thank you, not Chus. So let's get to it, man. Like I said, this is the Yo Show. We're here Tuesday nights, myself and Jewel Tatey, when her work doesn't suck. And Wednesday nights, Yo 2.0. We got some guest co-hosts lined up and some great guests coming on there as well. Building the brand that you all know and love. And, you know, great people watch. And thank you. It is pretty cool. It's got a little tripod stand. It can be a little fuzzy, but we're making do. The dogs like it. They're going nuts upstairs, of course. And why wouldn't they? Because they love Tuesday night as much as I do. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start anything, I want to show you a little something tonight. A massive thank you to one of my favorite people, my man George Powell, who is the drummer of the incredible band Poeta. As you know, Poeta had an album release party this past week at Red Bank Brewery, and I got my hands, Jewel, if you're out there, be jealous, I got my hands on a couple cans of Poeta's Lager, made by Red Tank Brewery. And I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it is as good as the music. Thank you to George for scoring that for me. Thank you to the guys from Poeta for being awesome and being friends and fans of the show. Great new album out. Check it out. iTunes, Spotify, all that great stuff. Poeta, local band, making great things happen. We have had... You want some? You know what? I got a 4-pack. So I'll save you at least one. If you're coming up for Cassie's birthday, I will save you a can. Maybe 2 cans, and we'll drink that night. Not Chus. Dude, get yourself to America. Get yourself to Langhorne, Pennsylvania, United States of America, and you and I will drink several beers. It's terrific. I'm a lager fan, as you know. I'm a Yuengling fan. And George said, if you like Yuengling, You'll love that. So, God, yeah. Oh, Jewel, hell yeah, indeed. I'm looking forward to it. You really should, dude. There's a spare bedroom here you can hang out. I love inviting people to my house. Except Hollywood starlets. That sounds a little strange when you tell them they can come to your basement. Anyway, Jesus. I'm so not used to this. Now Chu should have co-hosted. Yeah, I think that wasn't a bad idea. A few people near the end came out, and Allie was psyched because Allie's supposed to do it with us tomorrow night. And we got a pretty cool show tomorrow night on 2.0. And I'm sorry, I'm going back. DJ Herbert Holler is going to be our guest, and he's a great DJ, plays big parties. He's going to be here. So, you got to let me know where to find all these breweries. I'm on the walker now. So, well, at least you're off bed rest. That's good. Good to see you improving. Ivy had a rather unfortunate accident a couple months back. We pray for you. We love you. We wish you the best of strength and to get back to us and definitely hang out with us. And there's a lot of breweries around, and I'm back. Now that we're back from COVID, I'm back ready for some brewery time. So we'll definitely hit that. And maybe get a Yosho bus. We're going to get a cheap bus. Thinking, who else is going to drive it? I can't drive a bus. Oh, man. So tonight we were supposed to have a top five. Top five Lees in honor of Savanna. And I got none because I've been spending so much time trying to get all these computer glitches working. But Savanna is my number 1 through 5 because she's terrific. And we're going to play one of her songs shortly. In a few minutes, we're going to get to some music from Savanna, our very special guest tonight. Party bus. I love that idea. Party bus. I mean, there's brewery tours out there, but I'm telling you what, man. Being in Nashville, you realize what party bus is all about. And I'm not going to sit there all night and brag about how great it was. It's pretty great. But you get to really know what party bus is all about. That's some wild shit out there. Delicious. So, let's get to some things we want to discuss. And first and foremost, before anything else I want to discuss, how about our Philadelphia Eagles? Nice big win this past Sunday over the Detroit Lions. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't perfect. Little sloppy, but a win is a win, and our Eagles are 1-0. Jalen Hurts looked good. New acquisition, A.J. Brown looked terrific. Miles Sanders played a good game. Defense a little shaky, but that's okay. Our Eagles, right here, 1-0. The dog is freaking out in excitement about the Eagles. My wife is trying to keep her in line, but whatever. It's live. It's what happens when you get live radio. That's why we have no guest co-host tonight either. Guess Allie's got no luck. I'm going to message her just to be sure. I was very excited for Allie. She is certainly one of a kind. And we've been talking for quite a while about her doing the show as like a backup or doing a 2.0 thing, and finally got her to come on tonight, and she's supposed to be on tomorrow night, and now it's not working. So tomorrow night might just be me as well and DJ Herbie Holler. You know what I mean? The DJs. I'm all about it. It's my kind of scene. I have no idea. But, the Eagles are 1-0. Football season has started. Dallas is already in last. Dak Prescott got hurt this past weekend, so that's something to cheer about. Ooh, no. We don't cheer about injuries. And a lot of you are wondering, like, hey, fantasy football. Jeff plays a lot of fantasy football. How are we doing this week? Jeff is in 5 leagues. This week he finished 2-3. 2 wins, 3 losses. So fantasy football is off to a bad start. But that's okay. We're plenty of season to go, as you know. So we'll pick it back up. Not a problem. Tonight I'm wearing my shirt in honor of my love, Miss Britney Spears. We'll talk about Britney later in the program. Some big changes to her career and her life. The amazing Miss Britney Spears. Big news coming up there. Like I said, we're going to play some music. Savanna Leigh around 8:30 if she dare come on after watching this disaster. And a lot to talk about shows coming up in the future. We're booked out great. We got a lot of great stuff coming up, and hopefully next weekend we'll have Jewel back with us. I miss it. It's actually been, 3 weeks since Jewel and I have gotten together. Now, I know some of you might have looked at last week's show and said, wait a minute, there's Jewel right there. That was not Jewel, ladies and gentlemen, and a huge thanks to our guest from last week, former WMMR DJ. I'm sorry, I got to bring up the script here real quick so I don't screw up anything. Okay, so former WMMR DJ Sydney Taylor was our guest 2 weeks ago. She was phenomenal. We talked a lot about rock music. She's got a great album collection. We talked about DJing and her time here in Philly. She's got a new project coming up that we definitely want to talk about, and we're going to bring her back soon because I really want her and Jewel to connect. So that's something we'll do very soon. When Words Fail, Music Speaks podcast. My man, Mr. James Cox in the house. James, yo, and good evening. More great music tonight, James, and awesome guests around 8:30. Thank you always for tuning in, dude. You are awesome. As you know, as we talk about guys like James Cox and Jewel and I, Sydney Taylor, The Yo Show, etc., coming up at the end of the month is National Podcast Day. There's some programs that Jewel and I will get involved in. Wanted to try and do something on Yo 2.0, but we're kind of against the clock, so we'll see if we make something work there. But James is one of the great guys that do tireless work in this great field of ours. Like I always say, it's not a competition, it's a community. And James is a great part of that community. He has an excellent podcast talking a lot about, the healing power of music and how great music can be, and some great musical guests and people behind the scenes. And also, James, thanks always for tuning in. Your show is terrific. I've checked it out quite a few times. I enjoy it. So, yeah, man, check it out. And like I said, September 30th, I believe, is National Podcast Day, where all of us get to say a little something. Or drink a little something. Why not? That's good beer. George Pale, my man, coming through in the clutch. So, we didn't do top 5. We did talk about the Eagles. We talked about fantasy football. So, you're thinking, what next, Jeff? What can you possibly talk about? Oh, my mouth can run, but instead of my mouth running, let's get to some music while people are tuning in here. And our very special guest tonight is just an absolutely lovely young lady. She's got this brand new song out that is just really killing it with a lot of downloads, and you can find it all over your major downloading spots. It is Savanna Leigh. We're going to play the song here. I'm going to cue it up on the old Chrome. It's called Sad to See You Happy. Feel bad for the poor fella that this song's about. But anyway, now keep in mind, we've been having a little bit of internet glitches, so hopefully the whole song plays through. You're going to get to hear it right here. It's about 3 minutes and 12 seconds long. We're going to play it. We're going to come back to a little talking. Then Savannah's going to come on, and then we're going to have just a great freaking time, because that's what we do here on the O Show. Check out the song. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hey, I know I can't complain. I never reached out. Hey, miss you so much, it's insane. But I hope you never find out that I've been a mess. I've been tossing and turning in bed, losing sleep, losing sleep. I keep thinking, I know I should feel glad you're better, that you and her look good together. I don't know what that says about me. Lost my shit when you found somebody. If I take it back and we call it even, took losing you for me to share. I don't know what that says about me. I'm still sad to see you happy. Hey, is it weird for me to say that she's really pretty? I hate, I secretly hope she breaks your heart and makes you miss me, 'cause I've been a mess, played over in my head. I'm obsessed, I'm obsessed. I keep thinking, I know I should feel glad you were better, that you and her look good together. I don't know what that says about me. Lost my shit when you found somebody. If I take it back and we call it even, took losing you for me to see. I don't know to see it. I don't know what that says about me. I'm still sad to see you happy.
All right, the song is Sad to See You Happy. Savanna Leigh is the singer, and she is terrific, and I just love her voice. I love her style, and I just really think she's headed for big things. She should be joining us tonight around 8:30. I want to thank her PR team for just a great effort in putting this together for us. We love it. We absolutely love what we do here on the program when we get to have great guests come on and discuss and share their talent. And sometimes we get great things out of it, like Poeta Beer. So we're talking about Nashville, and I was there, like I said, last week. And a rather funny thing happened. Now, we went out one night to a rooftop bar to see the amazing AC/DC cover band Back in Black. Probably the premier AC/DC cover band in the world, in my opinion. If you're a big AC/DC fan, you realize just how terrific these guys are. And I'm there, and I'm hanging with my wife, and we're having a great time. We're listening to music, and we're dancing, etc. And I look over, and I see this very familiar face. And I said to my wife, I'm like, oh my God, that's... And the name was like on the tip of my tongue. It's Tracy. And it turned out, she's like, go up and say hi. Well, I don't want to embarrass myself by not knowing exactly that was her, not knowing the name, etc. But it turned out to be Tracy Bregman, a terrific soap opera actress who I've loved for years. And there she is, like right next to us. Good stuff, bro. Just a terrific actress. My wife in the house. Hello. Mwah. She was there with me right there. She said, go say hi. So, I've loved Tracy for years. I think she's just a beautiful woman and a terrific actress, and she was right there next to me, and I didn't say nothing. I'm thinking to myself the next day, I'm like the host of the Yo Show. I come out here and I talk to guests of all magnitudes, and amazing people like Hollywood gods and monsters like Diggity Dave Aragon is like, dude, what you do is amazing. You guys are awesome, this, that, and the other thing. So I'm like, she just went up and said something, but I didn't. So I come back. I followed Tracy on Instagram, and she made a post, and I said, hey, I just saw you in Nashville. Didn't want to bother you, so I didn't come up and say hi. And she responds, hey, you should have. I should have. I could have got her on the Yo Show. But very cool. That was just cool stuff. And again, like I said, the awesome AC/DC cover band Back in Black, trying to get them on the program. We've reached out to them. They actually have a movie that they created called My Stupid Cover Band. Pretty cool. Get excited for stuff like that. And later on after we do the chat with Savannah, we're going to play like another song, like a local artist song that we love. And I'm going to show you a little thing I got from Nashville. A little change in style. But other than that, I did not forget a topic that, I poked fun at a little bit. And it's not to poke fun at. Not so much that, but the way some people reacted, but of course it is the passing of Queen Elizabeth. And I know how hard this hits England, and it changes the whole dynamics of the royal family, and a woman who many people cherished. I didn't see it. I had heard some stories. I'm no authority. I got no rights to open my mouth about what goes on out there. But, and then she passed away last week. Definitely a tragic story. She's lived quite a life, very long life. A lot of people call her like a great monarch, and etc. And that is terrific. The family legacy lives on. The funeral was the other day, and we do mention death. We try to talk about upbeat stuff here. We try to always have fun. We try to always get silly with it, but sometimes you have to embrace these kind of moments that happen, and so, of course, prayers out to the royal family. This one is a shocker. Not overly familiar with all this guy's stuff, but I started doing some research and listening in. Rapper PNB Rock. Now, this is like a pretty scary story. He was gunned down in an attempted robbery at he was eating at a Waffle House. I forget the name of the Waffle House. It wasn't a Waffle House, but it was a kind of a waffle and chicken joint, and shot and killed a young rapper. Shocked a lot of people. A lot of people out there were fans, and of course it goes back to the whole violence thing. And people say gun violence, this, and blame this and that. Right now, it's a people problem. It's not a gun problem. It's a people problem because people think you could solve every issue in life with a gun and violence, and it's getting kind of stupid because we lose young talent. No need for it. There really isn't. And out here in the Philadelphia area, where we're not far from, you hear a lot about violence and stuff in the streets, and you get a little nervous about even traveling into the city. There's no need for it. It's nonsense. You know, back in the day, people would pick up their hands and kind of duke it out, which sounds silly, but you would kind of pray for that right now as compared to what goes on when like a young man like this is sitting and he's shot and killed. And it happened, we talked about a couple weeks ago with Washington Redskins running back Brian Robinson, a rookie getting carjacked, getting shot. He'll return from those injuries in a couple weeks, come back to play. But and I'm not preaching either side of the coin. Not going to say guns are bad, guns are good. I'm not going to say you should, you shouldn't. But seriously, the violence against other people, it's enough. It really is enough, dude. Let's live. Let's enjoy. Let's have a good time. When I came out years ago, as you know, me and Drew have been doing this for 5 years, 212 episodes. And I always said from the get-go, there's no politics. There's no social activism stuff we do here. We just talk and have fun. Sometimes you do still have to get into the nitty-gritty of what goes on in this world, and that's the kind of stuff right there that we wish everybody can get together with and kind of bring to a halt, because it's, gun violence, and you see people in road rage incidents and stuff like that. It's, we've got a ways to go, apparently. I thought we were turning around in the year 2022 and making progress, but looks like we're regressing. Sorry, my microphone's all over the place. So, prayers go out, of course, to the family and surviving family members of PNB Rock. Sad stuff. We do like to talk about some positive stuff. We do like to have fun here on the program. So we're going to stick to fun. We're going to stick to having some great times. We're expecting our guest any second now. Matter of fact, looks like she's backstage right now. I am extremely thrilled by this. Our guest tonight, young singer and songwriter. We played her one song just a few moments ago, Sad to See You Happy. Pretty curious to hear the story behind it, because a lot of these artists come up with great stories and how they make the songs and why they make the songs. So let's get to it. Let's welcome our very special guest, a tremendous singer, Miss Savanna Leigh. Good evening. Welcome to the program.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Very excited to have you. And the magic of social media, where people say social media is good for this and not good for this, it helps me discover great artists, and then I start to fall in love with the music, and then I reach out to their people and say, how do we make it happen to come on to the show and talk? And your public relation people were awesome, did a great job bringing it to us. We can't thank them enough. So we're very happy to have you here. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course. I'm so grateful to be here too. I love having a manager. It's been amazing, and having people to just kind of support me and get me out there and do things like this. So it's been awesome. That's
awesome. And as I know from doing this, you need a team. My team is me and Jewel. So it's
Absolutely.
Tough. You need people to kind of help out, because everybody wants a PC once you start getting good, or once they see what you have to offer. So it helps to have a little bit of a staff. I am here negotiating with anybody who wants to be part of our staff.
Right.
So, right. So congratulations on the new single. We played it here, Sad to See You Happy. It's a great song with an excellent message, but I need to know the story behind it, and not the candy-coated version, the real story behind Sad to See You Happy. Lay it on us. Tell us a little bit about the creative process and about getting this song out there.
Yeah, totally. That song was actually supposed to be my first single this year. So it was originally coming out in like January, February. And it was the first song off this year's project that I had written and finished and, done the whole mixing and mastering process. And I worked on that song with Nightly, the band. They were like my first connections here in Nashville, like in the pop world. And they really believed in me and supported me. and put together like my first EP I ever did, which was last year. So um, they wrote that song with me, and it was like definitely based off a real story. I Most of my music is always very genuine, like to me, or if not about me, it's about someone that I'm close to or something that someone I know has experienced. So yeah, that song was just kind of about like me feeling kind of sad and like jealous that like the person I was in a relationship with at the time, and then we broke up, and he like moved on pretty fast, and I was here in Nashville and he's in Florida, which is where I'm originally from. So it was kind of like a watching from a distance thing, and kind of being like, how did you do that when I'm still like so invested in like dealing with this heartbreak, and like you seem to be doing great. And that was also like right around the time I was leaving Florida for school, which is where I was at the time doing college for music. And so it was just kind of like a lonely place as well. And like I was new in Nashville, I didn't have any friends yet. And he just was like living his life. And I was like, that sucks. So that song kind of came from just like real feelings about what it's like to, you know, watch someone you care about move on without you, and you're still invested in it and they're not.
Makes sense, and that's where a lot of the great music comes from is real stories. And people talk about the Taylor Swifts and No Doubt and people like that who tell their truest stories, heartbreak and just real life experience. But it makes for great music because it's so sincere and people feel it. I kind of felt it even watching the video. I'm like, I know there's a story here. I tried not to cry. I kept trying to keep tough, but you know there's something behind it, and it's terrific. It's just a great number, and even if it's a sad place, someday that fella or that person's going to listen to that song and say, damn, what did I do here? You messed up. You messed up. So someday when your name's in lights performing, it's going to be your
Thank
best
you.
revenge.
Yes, I love that song. So thank you.
Absolutely. It's terrific. And we're lucky enough to always find great guests. So you mentioned Nashville, and I'm going to dwell on a little bit because I just came back from there. We were there a week ago. And it is such an amazing town for so many things.
Yeah.
The party scene, the eating and the drinking. But the thing I want to touch on, obviously, is the music. There is bands in every place. Is it hard to establish a name in Nashville with all this competition, or is it kind of a community where everybody's bouncing off each other and feeding off each other?
Right. I feel like, you know, when I was in Florida and I was trying to decide which of like the three music towns I wanted to go to, like New York, LA, or Nashville, I felt like Nashville was just the most like genuine community out of the three, that people really are here supporting and like uplifting each other and working together. I feel like any music industry town, there's obviously a lot of competition, and like some people aren't always in it for the right reasons, but for the most part, I feel like it's been about, I moved here when I was 18. I'm 22. So for the past like 2.5 years, I've been doing music solo as like a solo artist and pursuing it. And I feel like I've met a lot of people who like really believe in me and are willing to just like write a song together, even if, you know, you guys don't know each other, and just kind of get in a room and see what happens. There's definitely a lot of competition in the sense of just everybody here is talented in some way, creatively, like, but the one biggest difference is like pop is not as big of a, you know, world. It's a lot more. So it does give me like a space where I feel like my community is small, but also like thriving in a lot of different ways. And a lot of people are moving here from different places. And so like pop is coming up here, R&B, a lot of different genres. And I think that that's like something that makes you special. Also, you don't feel like you're the only one because there's a lot of people coming here. So
Yeah, that makes sense. And it looks like, to me, the perception, of course, you're in bars and clubs. Everybody who is on a stage seems like they are just having the absolute time of their life. And it's almost like they made it. Did you get that feeling like you're in Nashville? Like, I'm not made it like, oh, I'm this elite superstar, but made like, hey, I got somewhere real where my talent is just really genuine. Like, because to me, it's an incredible experience.
yeah, I love being here. I think that, you know, where I grew up, there wasn't much of a music scene. It was like very beautiful, and like I miss living there a lot, but it didn't have the type of, you know, connections that I needed. And I just couldn't, you know, pursue full time from where I was living. So I knew that coming here would be like a sacrifice in certain areas, but more so like my work environment and like the thing that I love the most, which is clearly music, is so like important in this town. And it's such like a big important part of being here. And it's like everywhere you go there's someone with something, an instrument, music, live music, and everywhere you go, and it's just really great to be around. It definitely motivates you and keeps you on track. I feel like if that is a goal of yours, is to, you know, do music full time. So yeah.
That's awesome. So let me hit you real quick, just knowing the places I've been and seen. Best place you've played in Nashville, or a place you want to play in Nashville? Well, let's go with both. Best place you felt you played so far, and a place you're dying to get to.
Right. I feel like I really would love to do Exit In. I think that's a really cool venue, and I've never played there. I would also love to do the Basement East. I think that's a super cool venue. And then probably my favorites has been the Hot, which was now sadly that building's being like taken down, but that was a really cool venue, and I loved playing there. And then also probably the Hutton Hotel. I did like the show that they have like a whole separate room inside of the hotel for artists to come and play. It's called like Analog Stage, and it's really awesome. So those two are probably my favorites. Yeah.
Very cool. And I mean, just places that are smaller, like Stage and the Kid Rock Bar, and they're just like everywhere you go, there's just such amazing talent. So it's terrific, and I really believe, and listen to your music and looking at your style, that you belong there. And I definitely think that you could be a giant amongst those people. I just love what you do.
Yeah.
What first got you into music, and at what age did you start playing and thinking to yourself, this is a dream and this could be my future?
Yeah, so my dad actually was a performing, touring, like country artist when I was really young. So he toured until I was about 6 years old, and he was touring back and forth from Florida, Nashville, and just kind of everywhere. So that's how I originally got introduced to just like Nashville in general, as I would come up here before like grade school started, and my sister and I both would just like go on tour with him and kind of, see what that life was like. And I think that's what immediately sparked the interest from like a really young age. But also my grandmother owned like an acting performing company in Georgia. So I would be in like her plays and like shows that she would put on. And so I was kind of just like always around music and like into the world of like, this is the entertainment world. And like my parents never pushed me into it, but I definitely from a young age just like felt myself like wanting to be a part of it as much as I could. And then yeah, I think around 6 years old is when I started to kind of be interested in writing songs, because my sister was already writing songs, and I like wanted to kind of, it's the older sister thing that she's got going on. I was like, I want to be like my older sister. So I started picking up guitar and piano, playing by ear mostly. And then I think I got my first guitar when I was 10 years old. And so I was playing that, and I took piano lessons when I was really young, and then it just kind of went from there. I knew once I got to high school, I wanted to school in Florida that had like a very strong like performing arts and choir section of the school. So I went to a school that had that. It was like a dancing, singing group that you could join, and you have to like audition and everything every year. So that was what I did in high school, leading me into going to a performing arts college for 2 years. And I knew I needed to get to Nashville somehow. And so I was like, Mom, I'm going to go to school in Nashville, because my mom's more of like the science math mom, and then my dad was the creative. So she was supportive of me and my sister, always like chasing our dreams, but it was, I think, scary for her knowing like how the music world is. So she was supportive, and I got here, I did 2 years, and then when COVID happened, I left school and then just pursued music full time since. So
that's amazing, and quite a journey. But the thing I love, to backtrack, at 6 years old, you're playing music by ear, so you're listening to it and learning it at 6 years old?
Yes, I feel like I've been singing since literally I don't even know, since I can talk. Like there's like home videos of my sister and me like playing like in a band that we started, and there was like little fake pianos and things. We just have always been around it. I think when your family kind of puts you up in that world, it's really easy to like fall into it and like end up falling in love with it. So
that's pretty amazing. My mother used to tell me, like, oh, you sing so beautiful. My brother's like, no, he does not. And they're right. No, I do not. A lot of people are just admiring it. And, as a little kid, you want to sing for your mom and dad. And mom's like, oh, it's so great. And I look at myself now at this age trying to sing anything, and it's a disaster. So
right,
it's pretty amazing. And it's great that you have the support around you, because it's important. And every guest we have usually has the support of friends and family, and they make it out there. So you started young. Did you have a normal upbringing, or was it always just about music and kind of like not so much friends but music?
I think my mom wanted to have my sister and I have a normal childhood growing up, and I think that was really important to her. I really wanted to like be that kid that just like auditioned for Disney at like age 2 and like never had a normal childhood. But I do feel like I had a pretty great experience with both. I think that like music for me was always the goal, and I never kind of strayed away from it. I always just knew like that's what I want to do. I'm like a very decisive person, so anything I did outside of music when I was growing up was just more for fun. Like put it at the same priority level. I did do sports growing up. I was an athlete all through, I mean, honestly, through grade school and then all the way through high school before I came to Nashville. I did basketball and flag football. I was like the captain of my team. Like I was very like passionate about that. And then it obviously sometimes would conflict with music and it was a struggle. So I dealt with that on the sports end. I would have like my coaches, being very, very stressed out because I was like, I have a concert to this competition and I have to take it. So I always put music first, but I did get to do a lot of things like I feel like everyone does when they're younger. And I went to like a public high school and I think I had a pretty good balance of both, I would say.
That sounds great, and it is a lot of work and a lot of hard work to do all that sports and music, and you see the movies where the athlete doesn't know if he should sing or play sports, so it's amazing you're able to do both. And I got to tell you, I'm already ready to help you write the sequel to "Sad to See You Happy." It's going to say, "You're sad to see me kick an ass, sucker," and that's going to be the next hit.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I'm ready for it. So, like, again, you said you write about real life occurrences. Is there a time when it's not real life? Like you just get deep into thought and just start jotting stuff on paper? Is it tough coming up with stuff? Does it seem to flow pretty easily? Do you have every guest we have on says, "Oh, I got hundreds of songs waiting in the background here"?
Yeah, I do. This year is probably the most songs that I've ever had that are unreleased that I have just in my catalog for my and things like that. But I think for a long time, when I was previously in a duo, I wasn't a solo artist. And so at that time, the duo was more, I was social media, the business end of everything. And my partner, my sister, actually was the artist. She's very creative, very, good at writing songs. And I think that I struggled to find out, like, how can I contribute when that's like something that she was really good at. And instead of me like contributing with her, I focused more on things that like I knew I could do. Which was social media and like getting us gigs and handling emails and things like that. So I think when we stopped doing music together, it was like a hard, transition of like, okay, now I'm my own musician, my own artist. I have my own name. I need to have my own music. And I wanted to, of course, write my own songs. I didn't want, someone else to be writing all my music for me. So it was a big transition of like, what do I want to say now that I'm a solo artist and like, what does my music even sound like? And I think writing for me was really difficult at first because of that, and COVID happened right when we stopped doing the artist track together, so it gave me a year to just write songs, and I really spent that year focusing on just writing every day and just like really working toward it and like trying to build a love for it again, because I had stopped writing for so many years that it was just like really a weird thing going on at the time. And since then I feel like now it definitely comes easier to me than it used to, but I think writing is just how one day you could be very like creatively inspired and the next day you're like, they have nothing. And so I think, I just try to pick up the guitar or a piano and write literally every day, even if I can't get much, even if it's like a verse, and just like showing up for myself and like for my music. And normally it ends up pulling through, whether that's like an idea I had like 2 weeks ago and I go into a session tomorrow and it like comes back and helps with that session. It just could be anything. And I think my writing has definitely improved so much in the past, 2.5 years, because I've really worked toward it consistently, and it's helped for sure.
That's amazing, and just amazing process. And you have it all figured out, and the way you deliver it and talk about it, just you have such a confidence that you don't even take a breath. You just go and you know exactly what you want to say and how you want to say it. And I think that's terrific. But I get the same way. Like we have guests on, we write a bit of a storyline. We don't really script the show. We write a storyline, and there's questions. And sometimes I'll be 3 questions deep, and I'm like, God, what else do I want to ask? Meanwhile, there's so much to ask, and I'm like, what else do I want to say, and how do I want to say it? So I get that, and the writer's block and all that, but it's terrific the way you handle yourself. That's absolutely awesome. Who are some of the musicians that inspire you? Who are some people you might take a little piece from, or somebody you're a big fan of that kind of gives you the love of music?
Yeah, I think, in being in pop, there's just so many like subgenres of being in pop, and there's just so much going on in that, space right now. And I think for me, since I grew up on country music, I am very storytelling focused when it comes to my lyrics. I really want to make sure that every song I write has like a purpose lyrically. I don't want it to just kind of be like always, about like the production. And of course I wanted to have like a nice vibe and people be able to like, jam to the song, but I want to make sure that it means something to me at least, and it's authentic to me. So I really love Lennon Stella. I think that she was like the first pop artist I'd heard when I came out of my duo and was like kind of like, what does pop sound like for me? And she really inspired me, just like her honesty in her lyrics and her voice, but also just like the production too. It was like like you can write a sad song but also make it sound upbeat and have like cool production behind it to where it can be mainstream enough for people to like get playlisted and like radio and all those amazing things. But also that's always never my total sole focus, because I just feel like if it's good music, it'll say enough for itself. So I feel like Lennon, Stella, definitely Gracie Abrams is a big inspiration of mine, for the same reasons. It's just I feel like artists that are very like deep and honest in their songs, but the production can be pop or it can be acoustically stripped down, because I write most of my songs before they're produced. So I think, yeah, those two are like the main ones I would say right now that the past years, 2.5 years ish, have inspired me. But there's so many. I feel like there's just so many pop artists right now that I'm like, you're amazing. And a lot of like country artists when I was growing up too that inspired me. Shania Twain was like the first country artist I ever like listened to. So her, Carrie Underwood were like my first inspirations ever as like a kid, and Taylor Swift and all that stuff that everybody listens to at my age. So yeah, that's what I would say is probably my main inspiration.
That's awesome. We like in Nashville, we checked out the Musicians Hall of Fame, I believe it was, and just the way that so many, like even a guy like Jimi Hendrix made his way through Nashville, and you're like, wow, it's really amazing. So it is a great town, and there's just so much talent out there, and the way people work with each other, etc., is super cool. And like I said, I definitely think you're in the right place, and I think you have the right look for it. The style of Nashville, do you get into the boots and the hats and all that? Like, do you get that country style? Is that your thing?
It's not my thing. I'm totally like all down for it. I think it's hilarious whenever I like go out and people are dressed all to the nines in like their cowboy outfits. It's honestly mostly tourists that end up dressing like that. It's not a lot of the locals that are here that I've noticed. This is very much a bachelorette like destination spot, downtown especially. So it's really funny, and I think it's hilarious. But no, I'm more like I feel like I give like Florida, Tampa, like that kind of situation, city vibes, for sure.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I bought a cowboy hat. It's over there, and I'm going to show it later on the show. And my wife is looking at all the boots, and I'm like, you know what? And I said, where am I going to wear it back home? She's like, what's the difference? Just have it to love it. And so I played it smart. I got like a Stars and Stripes one that I could wear on the national American holidays, etc. But you do. I mean, I love it. You do get into the vibe though of the area, which is cool.
Yeah.
So getting on stage, is there still nerves? Is there a ritual? Is there a little speech you give yourself? A lot of people say they get the vibe of the crowd. Is that you, or do you have to kind of mentally get yourself ready?
I really am working on like a pre-show routine right now. Actually, for the past like 6 months, I've been thinking about that more. I think I have really bad actually stage fright. I've always had it, and I keep it low key. Now I've gotten better, but when I first moved here and I was in a duo, it was a lot easier because you have somebody else up there with you. I was nervous and like kind of awkward and stood like kind of like a pencil, but when I got out of the duo and I was alone as an artist, I was like, well, I'm up here by myself and I can't not perform because obviously that's not good. So I worked really, really hard on my stage presence, and I feel like it's gotten a lot better, but I still have like stage anxiety pretty bad before I go on most every time.
Wow. I mean, I can only imagine because, some people say like, yeah, the crowd gives me the vibe, and sometimes you're at places where the crowd just isn't moving, and it's not because the artist isn't there, it's just something in the crowd. So I can imagine it's got to be very difficult. Now, I ask people the level of success they think they can handle. there's always a level for somebody. And I wear this shirt. I'm a gigantic lover of Britney Spears. Do you ever think you can handle being that big? Do you think you can handle the media and the crush that goes with being just an icon like that?
I think for me, my biggest goal was like making music and living off music and like not having to, pick up a second job or another thing to like pay the bills. I just wanted it to be like solely focused on my music and like how I can make that a living. So I think whatever comes with that, I feel like as long as I stay super like in touch with my family and like my closest friends that I've like been around since forever, I definitely feel like I could pretty much get to any certain point. I mean, I would hope and be able to stay me and like not let that like change. I don't think the people I've like surrounded myself with like my entire life have known me for years. I'm a very like close circle person, so I find it like hard to see myself changing and being like crazy or anything like that, or dealing with like I don't know. I think even like last year was the first time I started having like a growth on social media and dealing with like hate comments and people saying things, and
Wow.
It was a weird transition for me, but I do feel like if you know who you are in this industry and like know what your intentions are with music and love it for the right reasons, not for like the fame aspect, because you love doing it and that's like your passion. Having a purpose, I feel like behind any career path is like the main thing that keeps you like focused on what's the goal here. And I just love music so much for the sole reason it like has like changed my life, and it's changes so many people I know's lives and like helps them feel like in whatever emotion or feeling they're going through. So I just want to like connect to people, and of course I want to connect to as I can and like be able to do that. But I think as long as I keep like the same reasons why I started music in my head and I focus on that and keep good people around me, I feel like no matter what I'll be able to like go with anything that comes my way. But that's also easier said than done in this time, so we'll see.
Sure. I say you hear a lot of people say the money changed them and it's got to be tough, and if you get to that point, and of course we root for everybody to get to that point, and everybody says to me like if a big network came to you tomorrow, like Sirius Radio came to you and said tone down your act, watch your language, don't drink beer during the show, watch what you have on, but we'll pay you all this money, would you sell out? It's tough because I do love the independence. I do love being in charge of it, and I do like finding independent artists and new artists and doing what we do here. I kind of love it, and sometimes stuff like that is more important than the financial gain. But like I said, though, if you're good enough, it all comes out in the end.
Yes, I try to believe in that because it's really hard in this world like of social media and just everything you're seeing as an artist. It's like you'll see like instantaneous success, and a lot of the time that's either not real or they've been working at it for years and you just obviously you don't know their backstory and you don't know how it took them to get there. So it's easy to play like the comparison game, and I try to just like remember that if somebody has talent and like they're making good music, it's ultimately something will work, something will pay off in the end.
All right, so that brings me to a question that I never asked, but I want to do it tonight after you saying that. Think hard now. Okay. A million followers or 1,000 downloads of your music?
When you say a million followers, you mean on just any platform?
Let's say you got a YouTube page, not a YouTube page, rather, I'm sorry, Instagram, and 1 million people follow you. Would you rather have 1 million people who just kind of like look at your pictures and see what you're doing, or 1,000 people just downloading a song and getting into the music? I think I coaxed that answer a little bit, but go ahead.
I feel like, genuinely, if the 1 million people aren't true fans of the music and they're more fans of something else, then I would prefer the 1,000 downloads. I think I did go through a phase where in social media I had so many people following me, and it was nothing to do with my music. It was during COVID when I didn't have any music out. It was very much like lifestyle content, and so I had a lot of people coming in and like thousands a week. It was insane, and it was through TikTok because at the time that's the platform that was newest, and it wasn't real people who cared about my music. And since I've transferred like all my content over in the past year to music, like I lost so many followers, and I was like, this is like not what it's about. Like I want my fans to be real fans that care about what I'm doing as an artist and not just like waiting for me to post like an outfit of the day picture, So I definitely agree with that. I think if it was 1 million people who loved my music and cared about it and like were sharing it and promoting it to their friends, like that would be amazing. But if it's not real people or real, people that care about what I'm doing as an artist, then I would prefer the downloads for sure.
That makes sense. You get people that approach you and say, hey, I can get your show 100,000 followers. Well, I'd rather have 100,000 people view. I mean, we've get lucky enough that every week a couple thousand people tune in, which is great, either live or recorded. So that's awesome. That's really, to me, is more important than having a million people say, oh, yeah, let me click and see what kind of hat Jeff has on.
Yeah.
I'd rather have him, right. I'd rather have him watch. And you know what, though, Savanna, I'm going to say it. Us pretty people are poisoned like that. Like, people want to see our pretty face, but we're more than pretty faces, goddammit. We're entertainers. It's difficult. We have to suffer through that.
Yeah, no, I definitely want people to, see my page and, care about me as as an artist and not see a pretty face. And I think I did modeling for 2 years before in Nashville. And my manager's biggest thing when we met was like, we got to change your cover art pictures because all of them are just literally model pictures. And she's like, I don't want you to, come off as a person who doesn't have talent, somebody that's just focused on their looks. Like, I want to make sure people see an artist through your pages and see the real you. And it was super important for her. And I think it's definitely the best move, one of the best moves we've made so far. It's just kind of rebranding as I'm a normal person. Yes, I model, but I'm way more than just that. I'm a human. So yeah, I think that was something important to me as well.
That's big. I'll never break that chain. I'm always going to be gorgeous, and it hurts, and everybody just wants to come on and see my face. But it's terrific, and like I said, it is smart. Yes, it's nice to have a look and a style and an attraction. But like I said, you want people to come for the music. That's what we do here. You look at Instagram, and say, okay, this is a nice look, a nice style. But then when I start getting into the music, I'm like, yeah, this is talent. This is someone with a good message, and you can tell by the post, like how you post and present what you're creating. And I think you do it really well. I've become an instant fan. Like I said, the music's already on my phone. It gets into my library right away. Absolutely. And it is absolutely terrific. So what's next? Let's end there by letting people know what's next. Some shows, more music. What do you got next? What's on the immediate horizon?
Yes. What's next is I'm working on an acoustic project right now of all the songs I put out this year. I had to pick, 3 or 4 of my favorites, and we're going to do a stripped edit of them and kind of focus on that and just kind of get back to the roots of how I wrote all of them and show people that side of me as well. And I'm going to LA for the first time in October. I'm going to, get to meet my manager in person, which is amazing. I have literally been FaceTiming her for, since February when we met, and it's just been hilarious. We haven't met face to face. So I get to do that and do some shows. I have a show in LA next month for Writer's Block. It's a, acoustic performance of original music. I have another show end of the month of October for a Halloween weekend in Nashville. They're doing a lower deck session, which is kind of similar to a So Far Sounds pop-up show. I have another show coming this month, and it's a place right across from where my old school was at, and it's a nice stage that I used to play at all the time, so it's gonna feel very nostalgic to play there again. I'm excited about that. But yeah, I think just new music. I've written so much music in the past 5 months, and it's something I'm really, excited about for next year. So just working on honestly 2 projects, the acoustic thing and the new music, and traveling and just, figuring it out.
It sounds great. And definitely when the new stuff drops and more shows come on, we'd love to invite you back because this was terrific. I had a great time, and like I said, become a big fan of yours. So would you like to do it again sometime?
Of course. Yeah, it was awesome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You can find Savanna Leigh at www.savannaleigh.com. Facebook, Savanna Leigh. Of course, Instagram is Savanna Leigh Official. I always make sure I get those Instagrams right because I mess them up all the time. The new hit single that we played is out right now. Sad to See You Happy. Only for a brief time. Trust me, bud. Yours is coming when Savanna's big time. And she could say, I was on the Yo Show talking smack.
Yeah.
We look forward to it. Savanna, thank you so much for coming on. Our co-host is backstage. Got her a little late. We'll catch up with her, and we'll catch up with you real soon. Thank you so much, and have yourself a great evening.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye. Savanna Leigh, ladies and gentlemen, just a lovely young lady and a terrific artist and a great musician. Now, I'm going to go to social media real quickly, because I have to kind of post a little message here. And yes, I'm paying homage to somebody who's staring at me. And it won't let me do it because I'm on the wrong page. Anyway, tell your friends, get ready, because this young lady I'm going to introduce you was lined up to be our guest co-host tonight. She had a little computer error, which happens. It is the diabolical nightmare that is live programming. Computers suck. Microphones, so this whole stuff sucks. And like I said, my microphone broke. I'm my backup. This young lady, I actually found her through the likes of social media a couple years back, and I said, hey, how about doing a show sometime, or being a backup, or let's do a program? And it was met with a, I don't know, or maybe, and, you know, we kind of fell off of that. And then a couple weeks back, Korn came to town, and this young lady reached out and said, hey, I got a couple extra tickets to Korn. Turns out that her and my wife knew each other from years past, and I said, you know, Allie's got some Korn tickets. We ended up meeting at Chickies and Pete's. We had some drinks. We went to see Korn, and I said again, how about popping in? She said, let's do it sometime. Let's bring her out. If you're out there watching, tell your friends, because this young lady promises some wild action. The lovely Miss Allie Commissaro. Allie, thank you so much for making it here. And I can't hear your microphone. Are you on mute? You're muted yourself. There we go. You're good now.
Hey guys, sorry, I am so bad with the whole technology, devices, everything. I tried on 3 different devices to get in, and all of them malfunctioning. Had to get a browser, get this, get that. But we're good now. Got it on my phone after everything else.
Awesome, and we're also warming up because you're supposed to do it again tomorrow night. I don't know if you forgot about that obligation, but you're also supposed to be here tomorrow night with us on Yo 2.0.
And this is my little side chick.
She is adorable. What's the name?
Six.
6. I like it. I'm sure there's a musical story behind that one.
Actually, my son named her after a video game character from one of his favorite video games, Little Nightmares. It's one of the little girls in it. It's like a horror, creepy video game.
Very cool. I didn't, at my age, I've slowed down with video games just a little bit, but I play the basics. So,
I'm definitely a Sonic, like old school,
right?
Mario, Luigi sort of person.
Yeah, that's my shit.
Crazy.
So, I gotta admit, like I said, you meet people on social media, and doing the show, people pop up all the time. And I seen your look and your style, I'm like, yeah, this girl's right there, super cool. And then you joked about YouTube famous. Tell everybody a little something about, like, your desire to get seen and what you like to do, and just things that make it tick. Like, I seen you at your best. So...
Well, it all started when I was younger. I had this Barbie head, and I decided that I was going to learn every single braid you could possibly learn to do on the Barbie head. And basically, it kind of went from there. I started dyeing her hair, and then sort of the Halloween lover in me kind of took over. And I started doing the 31 days, and now I think it's going on my 9th year of doing it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've done a lot of looks.
I could tell. So your
new ones.
Your hair changed since I saw you a couple weeks ago. That is like a kind of give us, if you could lean in a little bit, kind of give us a good look at what you got. Because it looks like you got some orange and some red, and it looks like you got a little wow.
I just dyed it today for you.
Is that like purple in the back too? It's freaking awesome.
Okay, so my son has only known me with purple hair. I've had it for 9 years, like it's all he knows. So we were watching Corella, and I was very like stir crazy in the house, just like everybody during the pandemic.
Sure.
So I decided to kind of do the Corella look, but I did it with purple and blonde. Then from there, I kind of got bored with the blonde. It was just too basic for me. And I let my best friend pick the other color. And his favorite color is orange, so
there you go.
That's how this creation came to part.
There's actually a picture of me with my hairstyling days. This is me back when I had hair. That's a picture of me. Am I beautiful and blonde or what? The beard doesn't match at all, but beautiful blonde me.
Absolutely pretty gorgeous.
Why, thank you. It's not easy, as we talked about. You heard me talk about Savanna. It's tough being beautiful because people just want to tune in because you're beautiful. It's tough sometimes.
I get it kind of both ways. Like, either people think I'm so weird that they're like, okay, I kind of am interested in her, like, just because she's so weird. Or I get weird guys in my DMs saying,
No.
You look stunning. You look this. You look that. You want to go out with me? No, I don't.
No. Wait a minute. So let me get back this. Weird guys go in your DMs and say crazy things? I've never heard of that.
Oh, let me tell you. I have some that have been writing me for 5 years that I've never written back, and they just don't seem to get the point. But it's all good. I try to write back whoever unless they start getting very aggressive. That's when I draw the line.
That makes sense. And
I'll like talk about general stuff, and I love the ones that like talk about politics or like come at me about like something they strongly believe in, and I'm like, that's great, like that's awesome. It doesn't need to be in my DMs, and I don't really need to hear about it on a daily basis. But
so the touchy subject, and you don't have to give us a number. How much male anatomy is in your DM? You know,
I'm on my phone, or I would actually show you, but
oh no, we're good there.
a lot of different interesting messages. My email fills up. I had to actually take my email off a lot of my social media because people were like emailing me. Not only were they sliding in my DMs, but I was getting emails, like random emails. And I love the ones that say, well, what do you do? We see you online and we see all the different outlets. Like, what do you do? Let me tell you, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. That's my main love. I love anything hair, anything makeup. I mean, that's just me. I also, my father had a stroke recently, so
Sorry, Jenna.
they own an antique store in New Britain, so I have been stepping in with that, and we're kind of giving it a new feel, and I'm bringing my look and vibe to it. So anybody that's into antiques, come on and stop in.
I like that. I like that a lot. We can pop and promote that after the program. A couple people that have checked us out. George Powell is the drummer from Poeta. Of course, we have Poeta's beer here. And I met him earlier on, and I said, check out the show tonight. We got somebody wild coming on. And he says, looking good. It's, I told him we got to check out Allie. Jewel is watching the show. Jewel's our regular co-host who got stuck working tonight. She's playing a little hooky, kind of watching the show from the side. So hello, Jewel. And I'm excited to have you here. Very cool. And to meet you in person is definitely cool. You never really know. And the perception of social media and how you think people are and how you think they act. I got to admit, like in asking you to come on the show, a little nervous when we went down to meet you with Chicky and Pete's, but you're just fun and you're inviting and warm, and we had such a blast. And my wife said, wow, I can't believe all the years have passed, and here we are, like, just hanging out again and meeting up again and stuff like that's cool. She's a very good judge of character, so when she gave it a thumbs up, I knew I was set.
Oh, your wife is the best. I love her so much.
Thank you. And, she has nothing but good things to say about you as well. Even though you got to learn.
Wait. Real quick. How was her Nashville trip? Did she have the best time for her birthday?
She had an absolutely incredible time. We had, and I don't know if you've ever been there. And if you haven't.
I have.
You have.
Opry when I was younger, and saw
wow.
like a lot of people that are big time now that when I was younger I was like, why are these people dancing on the jukeboxes? But now they're like big time. So
it's a nonstop party, and it almost looks like you're walking through the street like people walk through a mall. There's just rows of people just walking, and there's food everywhere, and there's music everywhere, and there's vendors on the street corner selling marijuana vape pens. Not that I had any, but and dude, there was so much to do, and the drinking, of course, you're going to drink yourself shitless. You can't help but do it. there's a little bit of pricey stuff. A vendor got me for a $10 hot dog on the corner, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm drunk. I want a hot dog.
bar.
Whatever.
What was the best bar you guys went to?
Best bar, a place called Stage was amazing. They had some great bands, a few floors high. Kid Rock's bar was incredible. It gets so packed that you can't even get near the bar. So I don't know the rumors that people say, but it is mobbed in there. And then you got your little corner shot in a beer bar like Losers, place called Losers. And I'm like, this place is going to suck. No, it didn't. It was a great corner bar.
I'm such a dive bar sort of girl.
Yes.
I love those little dive bars that like look like they're going to be so ratchet and disgusting and really wouldn't want to use the bathroom ever. But yeah, I love them. They're where my heart is.
I'm the same way. And like I always, back in my single days, and sometimes going out and drinking alone can be dangerous because God forbid. But there was nights I would just go to a local bar and sit down, and I'm that guy like, yeah, get a shot of Jack and a beer, and you're sitting there jacking beer, and then another Jack and beer, and then another Jack and beer, and then you start talking to the weirdest fucking people, and then the ugliest chick at the bar looks like the hottest. Because let's face it, you're messed up, and that's the beauty of a corner bar, man. I'm all about that. I love the atmosphere of. It's kind of like the fuck it bar. Like, I'm here, I'm drinking. I don't give a crap about your drama, your stories, nothing. I'm here to get tanked. I love it.
Speaking of tanked, Chicky and Pete's, oh my goodness. Let me just tell you, I'm not usually that drunk, and usually I would not care about winning a racehorse. But Dennis decided that my shots that were being bought for me were piling up a little bit. So he had the bartender throw them all in one drink, and I didn't realize it, and yeah, chug that.
Wow.
I was pretty good to go.
So tell us about the racehorse, because I know you got involved in this thing, and
I'm not really sure. We didn't really have a name. I really don't know. I think you were like bidding to get in on a stake in the racehorse, and then if the racehorse like won, then I guess you would make money. I don't really know.
It was weird. I remember you being like, dude, what did I win?
Like, oh yeah, a racehorse. I'm gonna win that. And the guy like seemed like I had a pretty good chance. I mean, I did fold my like thing into a heart.
Oh, there you go. That's probably why they picked you.
They didn't. You didn't find out for 3 days, and I didn't get the phone call.
By 3 days, I mean, the alcohol is worn off. The concert's over. It's over.
The excitement of the racehorse isn't there anymore. They didn't even know his name. They're like making up his name. They're like, oh, well, it could be Fluffernutter. I'm like, oh yeah, you think? Like you're giving away a bid on a racehorse that you don't even know his name? Like, I would have gone into that knowing the name. But
yeah, come Tuesday, the magic is over. Like Saturday, Sunday, you're all about it. By the time you're back at work and working for a living, you're like, fuck that racehorse. I could give a shit with his name.
I would have posted about it, though, if I had one. Like,
that's true.
I'm not even, like, a real big horse person, like, in general. So I don't know why I was that excited, because I really was overly excited. Even Dennis is like, why were you so, like, eager to win that horse? I was like, I don't know. It was the big thing going on. I don't know.
I think it's more or less you like being picked, because you have mentioned me that you do like attention. I'm the same way. I love running my mouth and getting attention.
Kind of competitive.
Yeah, I get that too. I'm a little bit that way as well. Games don't go over very well in this household.
I know my son keeps asking me to play Monopoly. I'm like, you want to play like the longest game in the whole world? And I don't think I've ever played Monopoly where I haven't like cheated. Granted, I haven't played since I was younger. Like, I haven't played since I was a kid, and it was versus like my grandmother or like one of my like cousins. But
you cheated your grandmother?
I did. I would always like grab some more like cash or like something from the pile. She knew it though. She even told me like later on, she's like, I knew that you took money out of the pot. I'm like, oh, you do.
Oh, Grandma. Seems
You
like
went from being broke to having some properties.
the shadiest people always step right up to the game and say, I'll be banker. The shadiest person always wants to hold the bank. You know?
I wasn't even the banker. She was controlling it. I would wait till she like walked in the kitchen to go get coffee or whatever.
I could picture like cute little Allie Mae. Grandma, can I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? And they're raking the hell out of the $500 bills.
It wasn't even like really the point of winning. Like the game would take so long.
Yeah.
It's like the same with poker. I usually do pretty good if I'm like sitting in one of those like poker games at one of the bars. I
Yeah.
usually make it till like the last round. But those people are so serious. First of all, they
Yeah.
get like mean, real mean, and I'm out to have fun. Like when I'm out, I'm having fun, whether it's playing poker with seniors or whatever.
Ripping off Porsche. You and these seniors. But I agree, George. Playing Monopoly on video game consoles does make it go faster, and it's a little more enjoyable, kind of handling them, like moving this little peg and rolling dice. It's a lot of work. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy game player. What can I tell you? But now I know every time I see Allie and seniors, I know who's getting ripped off and who's not.
We should
Poor
get like
seniors.
every concert that we go to, we should get like a big cornhole game going and get everybody in on it.
I kind of suck at cornhole. Are you a player? You good at it?
I kind of suck too, but
Okay.
when I'm drunk, I could be good at anything. You never know.
That's true.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got to plug in my phone.
Uh-oh. She's about to die on us. She actually got in through the phone. That's pretty creative. It's a lot of people's last out. For some reason, the phone comes out better than a lot of computers. Bizarre.
Well, I tried through my regular computer. I tried through my iPad, and I tried through my son's computer, like his iPad, and it wouldn't go through on any of them. So
Really? Bizarre. I mean, and we always joke, me and Joe always joke around, like, it's the magic of live footage and live video, because anything can go wrong. Everything has gone wrong here. There's nights where when I first started doing it, I lost a computer because I dropped a beer on it right as the show started, and that was it. It was over. That was back to before we had video. We were just doing audio, thank God, because it looked fucking stupid. But we went on and just that quick.
yeah. And whenever you're angry or like in a rush for something, I literally get caught on every doorknob in my house.
Yes.
Every one. My purse. I'll be in such a rush going out the door that it will literally pull me all the way back. Every time.
I tell you what, like, we do this show Tuesday nights. I do the brother show Wednesday nights. I think Thursday nights we should do scenes from Allie's apartment, because I can just imagine in meeting you and just hearing those stories. It's probably a blast.
I cannot wait for tomorrow night. Like, the DJ, can we have him play songs that we can like try to guess, like old school songs?
Maybe it's kind of tricky because they'll cut off the feed.
No.
Yeah, it's Facebook. I mean, YouTube, you could do it all day long. Facebook warns me after every show when I use music of people that are on the show that allow me to do it. But we'll see what we can get them to do. Maybe figure out something.
Everybody like hates on Facebook as far as like getting banned or whatever. You know what? I've been on since day one, and I've never been in Facebook jail. I've never really gotten in trouble. I've been banned by a couple songs in Canada. But other than that, Facebook's been good to me. Y'all have been really good to me.
Thank you, the good people of Facebook. I've only been in Facebook jail, I don't know, 8 times. And it's dumb shit like quick story. Because that's what we're doing here. Where you said you want to freeform it, so we're going to freeform it. So a buddy of mine, I was out one night with the wife, and a buddy of mine said something. I'm like, nah, I'm going to call tonight and go to bed. He said, yeah, because you're whipped. And I'm like, what? He said, whipped. I said, you know what? I'm going to come to your house and whip your ass. Boom! 30 days in Facebook jail for the violence policy. Come on, man.
This girl posted like a picture of her boobs, and they were like basically like popping out. So one
Disgusting.
of my guy friends, he's gonna be like mortified that I'm talking about this. Hope he doesn't see this. Anyway, He posted on there nice rack or like nice boob or something. He was thrown in Facebook jail for like 7 days.
What?
Yeah, just for talking about some girl's boob that she was like putting out there.
You can't. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing they don't ban guys for what they say in DMs.
Yeah, but like guys, I have people write all sorts of stuff on my site. Like, I mean, I'm pretty blunt, and I kind of say whatever's on my mind, so I do get in trouble sometimes, but
Yeah.
overall, I think I do pretty good.
And, you know, you had mentioned to me you're allowed to do that here, of course. We just, like I said, we don't do, like, politics. That's got no point in entertainment. But, like, whatever one's come out of your mouth, we're good with that. We've said some crazy shit here. There's some times I go to bed at night and be like, good night, honey. And she's like, I don't want to talk to you. The shit that was coming out of your mouth, I don't want to talk to you. And I get it. I do say some dumb shit. Some nights I have more drinks than others. I'm going to tell you something real quick. If you ever get a chance, go back to YouTube, find our show, watch episode 99. The guest is Brianna Dale. She's like this model with the gigantic boobs and all that. And before the show, nervous because she's got like 1 million followers and a lot of fans. Got nervous, drank a lot for the show, smoked a little weed, and apparently, according to Jewel and a lot of people I know, I just made a total ass out of myself. So, if you ever get a chance, episode 99, me and my shining moment. Shit happens.
I'm so good at making an ass out of myself. Like, I'm like one of those people that like makes the moment more awkward.
I like that though. That's me too.
Unless it's like towards you, then like I'll get the look like, what are you doing? Shh.
You seem like, and I joked around about it earlier when I first made a post about the show. You're kind of like the female me when it comes to your mouth. And it's not like we're not out to offend. We're just out to be funny and have a good time and be a little outrageous. But sometimes we silence the room with the shit that comes out of our mouths.
Once or twice I don't have a filter. Yes, I have.
My filter is actually not too bad. I give myself a little bit of credit there, but I always, my thing is always anything for a rise, anything to get a laugh. And sometimes I say stuff that's just really the worst of taste to try and get that laugh. So it happens. You push the envelope a little bit. Yeah.
If you ever want to realize how different you are than everybody else, go on TikTok under dark humor. Because I'm sitting there and I'm laughing. I'm finding so much like, I got so much entertainment out of going under. And my best friend's like, you're sick. You're really sick. There's something wrong with you. I'm like, yeah, maybe.
It's, I'm going to look that up after the show. And, it's also like in the memes you post, and somebody put this one up. I got to see if I can find it real quick, so it just cracked me the hell up. I'm not going to show it, but it just goes to show you how.
Oh, some girls are so on point with their memes. And then the little gifs underneath for the comments.
Right?
Like, half the time I am only there for the comments. Like, I'll just read them, I'll be like, you know what? They're just going to be good comments under here.
Sure.
And then I love the people that can put the GIF, and that's all they have to put. And it's funny enough that it makes a statement. They don't even have to write anything.
It's kind of not fair.
You just got Kevin Hart going like this, or something like, it's great.
So, it says, that face she makes when you say you're kinky right before she jams a straw in your dick like a Capri Sun. And look at that girl's face. Like, I showed it to a guy at work, and he's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, you kidding me? I can feel the pain of that jab, but also think it's kind of erotic in some weird way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's what they were thinking about when she said she was kinky.
No, I don't. I've got a phobia about anything.
That makes me think of Eurotrip when they're like, need the safe word.
That's a great movie.
So excited. Yeah, I know. We have to talk about it for a minute. I got so excited because I saw Scotty Didn't Know on TikTok. I'm like, yes, this has got my name all over it. Had to do it. Yeah, it's so great. I could listen to that song 1 million times.
She likes that song. So it must be that. I mean, we're not really that far apart in generation, but far enough that there's gaps. Like, and Scotty Doesn't Know is like one of her favorite songs. I'm like, yeah, but poor Scotty. She's like, poor Scotty. This is a great song.
Well, friends of mine they were in another band, but I think some of them went over to Split Decision and some other different bands. But they used to do a mashup of Scotty Doesn't Know and Drowning Pool's Bodies, and it was my favorite mashup. Oh my goodness.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it was so good.
Mashups are cool. We had the, I forgot, oh my God, I drew a blank for a second. Hollywood Gods and Monsters.
You forget your train of thought.
You did. It didn't take long either. God, you said you were going to come at me. Why? What the hell? Hollywood Gods and Monsters were on a couple weeks ago, and they're a pretty big band. They're out on the West Coast. It's Diggity Dave, used to be on Pimp My Ride and MTV, and Travis, formerly of Steel Panther, and Rachel Bello, who's a local girl, and they do mashups, and super cool. So if you ever get a chance to check them out, Hollywood Gods and Monsters. But I like a good mashup. Unfortunately, you can't play them on a show either because it has tracks of original music. Is that your thing? I know you're a big music fan, like I said, and we were both at that Korn show.
And
Same.
My friend and I were just talking about this. I call it musical roulette. All my mixed CDs and like CDs that have been made for me over the years, because my radio went down in my car. So I've had to use CDs for the last couple weeks. So I've been going through like all my old ones that DJs had made through the years and just different. I had such a wide range. It's seriously musical roulette. Like the other day it was like Godsmack, Avril Lavigne, I think Coldplay, and I don't even listen to Coldplay. Like
I like a little Coldplay
in there. Like trying to think who else. A bunch of like totally. It would go from like pop. I don't do a lot of country.
Same.
My parents listen to country, and like there's a few that I will love. Garth Brooks, I can listen to him. I love when he does the talk shows and he does the host for the day. Love it. But not the biggest country music fan, but yeah, I love all music. I can get down with it.
I'm with you there. And again, the range. I look at my phone and try Wheeler Walker Jr. I'm going to write that down. Wheeler Walker Jr. I'm writing it.
Say that 10 times fast.
I know, right? Yeah, George did say, be careful how much Poeta beer you drink. And I'm still on my first one, so I'm hanging tough. I tried to behave tonight because I didn't know what I was going to get out of Allie.
Alcohol, ladies and gentlemen. I am just drinking Rockstar to stay awake.
Well, because you are a fucking rock star, that's why. So, cheers to that. And if you're looking for music, again, George's band is Poeta. They just put out a brand new album. They are sensational. Local guys from the Bucks County area. Friggin' amazing music, and I love meeting people that are just awesome. It says 5 point. It says 5%. Maybe it's just the adrenaline of the show. It feels like it's got a little more kick to it. It really does.
I had such a blast at Korn. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That was like just magical.
Now you made your way to it. You ended up in the pit, correct?
Okay. Funny story. Okay. I am one of those people, I never stay in my seat. And we had third row tickets, and I was like standing there, but there was this really tall guy in front of me, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go around him and go down to the front gate. So I go down there, and there was this woman, and when I first went down, I was just I was minding my own. I was staying on the one side of her. She was jumping around. When she jumped this way, I jumped that. I was like dodging and weaving.
Sure.
Well, she turned around, saw me, and just lost her shit. I mean, went total Karen on me. And you saw me at Chicky and Pete's, the state I was in.
Yeah.
I was like, what is your problem? And she's like, I'm here with my daughter, and I spent $400 and some on these seats, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I like the band. And she's still screaming at me. Well, finally, I just turned to her daughter, and I was like, I'm sorry. Like, this is ridiculous. I don't know what I did, but I'm going to go back to my seat. So I guess the daughter was so mortified because I really didn't do anything. I was just standing there and I was staying out of their way. The daughter was so mortified, she had her mom come back up to me and ask me if I would come down and sit with them in the reserve section.
Really?
Yeah, so it turned out being amazing. And they had ordered a bunch of food, and it was awesome.
Did you get they gave you food too?
Yeah.
So they fed you. Did they give you booze?
No, they didn't, because they were drinking beer. She did offer, though. Very nice woman.
Not a beer fan?
And because she interrupted the video that I was taking, because I was making a TikTok, she actually offered to take the video, and that is who is taking the video on my TikTok.
Oh wow! Now I'm not extremely TikTok savvy. I could tell you are because when
I just started, and now I'm really big into the duets.
Because
when
when
you like do it with someone else, and you
Well,
split screen it.
I'm into doing it with somebody else too. I don't like doing it by myself.
Yeah,
It's
not.
kinda,
I knew the second I said it. Okay.
You're on the Yo Show. It's what we do here around here.
Split screen. You got one dancer over here, and then you mimic what they're doing and try to make it look good.
A few people have challenged me to do that, and they said, try doing that on your show. Have somebody come on and dance on one end of the screen. You mimic it. I'm like, no, that is never happening on this program. No. I'm not right. And, I mean, I could do enough to make myself look stupid. I don't have to do that. I mean...
Not want to be savage. I cannot do that dance for the life of me. It go like you got to turn this way and then go that way. Like my body just doesn't want to do it. I look stupid.
Right. I'm not a great dancer, so to me that's.
I cannot crip walk.
I don't even know what it is.
It's that thing that Snoop Dogg does. Like.
Let me see.
Drop it like it's a. No, I can't even do it. Yeah, I gotta be drunk for that one. I'll try that one when I'm drinking.
All right, well.
Stupid though, like you're supposed to like go back on the back of your foot. All my friends can do it. They're all crip walking all around. I can make the like hand motions, like pretending like I'm doing it, but yeah,
I can do that.
Just,
I think I can do that.
Do it.
Kind of like back in the day with the moonwalk. Like people were doing it, and I'm like, I have no idea. I'm not a good dancer. Not a good singer.
Jason Derulo and like the guys that are like doing like the dancing and those crazy things on TikTok, they give you like impossible things to live up to. I mean,
Jason Derulo is not fair. Like the 6-pack abs and all that. Come on, like nobody looks like that. So he's not fair. Anything he does is a cut above.
Yeah, me moonwalking across my bedroom is not going to be the same as him doing it across his pool. I mean, come on. Man's walking on water. Right?
No way on earth. Like, you look at his album cover, he's like...
I do like a lot of his songs, though.
He does have some good songs. I've got him on my playlist kind of by accident, because I went to download Trumpets, and I ended up getting the whole album. I love Trumpets. That's a great song. And next thing I know, I'm like...
People started loving him, because I feel like that was like a turning point for me.
Yes.
At that point, I was like, you know what? I would go to your concert. Trumpets. Yep. Did you see the video where like the guy is playing the trumpet and he's going around the stripper pole?
No.
It's like a spoof on something. Oh my god, it's so great.
Damn it! And I felt the first time I heard that song, I felt like the old man in the room because here's a rap song that has trumpets in it. I'm like, yeah, trumpets. And people were like. Let's face it, that's a great song. And like I said, the album was on, and one day it just started playing all the way through on my random, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. And this is pretty good. I realized it's that same Jack dude on the cover of every song. So
Talk Dirty to Me, that's another good one.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good ones. I'm a closet fan.
Yeah.
Don't say closet on this show. It's never a good thing. But I'm a fan. I got a very wide range as well, and like... On my playlist is a lot of the artists that come on the show, but there's also like Mozart, there's freaking Barry Manilow, there's the Culture Club, but there's also Guns N' Roses, Pantera, Metallica, so I'm all over the board. Korn, of course. I've seen Korn live 3 times. I've seen Korn live, so.
I have to like keep going through. I like used to keep all my tickets. Now you can't keep them because it's all digital and stupid. But I used to keep every single ticket, and I would always buy a T-shirt. I was just going through some of my old like Ozfest T-shirts. I didn't even realize all the people that I saw.
Right.
Like I've seen Motley Crue so many times. I only remember once. One time.
Not remembering is usually the best part.
Drowning Pool. I've seen a bunch of times.
I've seen them. You're like sounds like the same exact Ozfest I was at the one year, and that was Crew Fest. It was Motley Crue, and it was Drowning Pool, and there was a couple other bands. I don't even remember Motley Crue. I've seen.
That was the T-shirt I was just looking at. That's why I named from that particular year.
I got you. I love the good T-shirts. The T-shirts are going down a little bit in quality. The prices still,
They've been going up in prices.
Oh, of course. Now they're 20. It used to be 10. And for 10, you would always get.
I smoked a blunt with the guy selling T-shirts in the parking lot I was in, so he gave me a discount.
There you go. Was it your blunt or his?
It was mine.
Yeah, okay. Well, that merits a discount. I'm down with that.
Yeah, I was being nice.
What a good kid. I learned already. You're stealing from your grandmother. You're smoking blunts with T-shirt scalpers. What the fuck is going on here?
My grandmother knew. She was okay about it. She's totally good.
I'd like to see some footage of that. Caught red-handed.
She knew when the bank, like, just filtered over my way that I had cheated.
That's perfectly okay.
It happens.
We've all done it. We've all been there. I was always like the youngest of my brothers, so I was always last because they were all cheating against their little brother.
Child. See, I was like they all let me cheat because I was little.
All right, we'll play Monopoly sometime, and I'll carry the bank, and we'll see how you make out.
Yeah, see, I don't know. That's a really long game. I was even like, somebody's like, well, why don't you get Monopoly Junior? It's a lot quicker. But do I really? Aww.
There's little Henry in the house. Usually they don't come on during the show. Must be you.
Well,
Yeah, Monopoly.
Well, six made a guest appearance. So.
That's true. So they have to also. That's Henry. Let's see if Hannah will come on. Hannah just got groomed and shaved up today. This is our little baby. Say hello. Hello.
Aww.
Yeah, she likes to kiss too. Way too much. Yes, you do. You're cute. Say hi to Allie. Give a little wave. Hi. We do it all here on the show. We have animal time. Yes, Ivy, puppers indeed. There's always time for puppers on the program. Oh, another fan of Allie's hair. Now, Ivy had gone through the purple hair stage. Hers was very cool as well. I like multiple colors. Where are you now, Ivy? Back to, is that blondish? Is that the color now, the natural color? Wait for her to respond. She watches this all the time. She's terrific. I appreciate it. And I like, she's going back. Oh, so she'll go back to the purple. I love it. I like.
Oh, the best feeling in the world is when you've got that clear palette, when it's blonde, and you can just throw whatever color suits your mood. Best feeling. Today,
It's pretty cool.
Oh, earlier I was blonde. Earlier I did my whole head blonde and went over the whole thing.
Earlier, goes that fast?
Yeah,
Wow.
well, I've been doing it a long time. Oh, jeez.
Oh, you're like a master. Let me say hello to my man Brian Snow from Snowman in the Morning. What is up, dude?
I've been dyeing my hair different colors since I was 8.
Really?
Summer camp. Before summer camp, my mom would never let me cut my hair. It was down to here. It kept getting, like, when I would take a bath, it would get in the bathtub. Like, it was just everywhere all the time. So I decided before summer camp, I was going to cut my hair off. So I did myself, put it in a fishbowl, brought it into my mom, got in a lot of trouble for that. So I figured I was already in trouble, and she sent me to camp. So my friend and I skipped camp and decided to
rob old ladies.
No. That was my grandmother, and it was Monopoly money. Stop it. Anyway, so we went into the bathroom, and I got bright green Manic Panic, and I think we had Kool-Aid We were using like a Kool-Aid mixture that we were trying to like heat up with this like weird lighter thing that she had taken from her mom. And yeah, we dyed her hair in the bathroom, and I did a pretty good job for being that young. It was like green and pink. I had like one pink streak, and the rest was like a green.
And Ivy's been dying since she was 11, and she said that manic panic is life.
You know what? I just switched over to Mondo. I love Brad Mondo. He's a YouTuber that like dyes, like he watches YouTubers like videos of failures or people that are just changing their hair color, and he's just great. So he has a new line, and it is awesome. It is so bright. Yeah, that's what I have in the front. I have coral, and then I have the super purple in the back.
Wow. So what can you do for guys like me and Brian? We have facial hair, but no hair on our head. Can you do something that pops with this facial hair besides this salt and pepper, Joel?
Yeah, there's so many things to do with your beard.
I want to try that sometime. I want
you could glitterize your beard. You could go any color with your beard. Oh yeah, they do all sorts of like designs in the beard.
Tell you, there's so many things like I want to do live on the show. Like I always said, I want to get tattooed on the show.
I would
love to, and I wanted to pole dance on the show. And we have some people I know that own studios that have pole dancing. Let's pole dance on the show. I think I want to get my beard dyed or glittered or something one night on this show.
That would be awesome. You just got to decide what color.
All right, so I think
color's important.
Sure, we just can't tell the missus. It's got to be a surprise because Lord knows she doesn't hear what's going on. I don't know. I'd have to feel that out. But I think we have an episode one night where Ivy and Allie get together and create. We'll do it live somewhere.
Awesome.
Create a massive beard color. Somebody can wear to work that. I don't care where to work. What's the difference?
Yeah, you wear it out.
So, but let me ask you a question because I hear this a lot. Now, Ivy, get ready for that. I'm down. I'm totally down to get like rainbow.
Yes.
I'm intrigued. You
know what? The kids, my son's friends are awesome. They banned all these books, anything having to do with transgender or anything about being different. I read these books, first of all, had nothing to do with that, just about being different and accepting other people and being different. Yeah. Well, anyway, Central Bucks decided to ban rainbow flags and ban any books that they think have any sexual or basically anything that they don't want in it. The school board won't even go into detail about what's going on. But anyway, the kids, first of all the schools, they painted the rock out front rainbow. All the kids want to not do their whole head, but they want to do a patch of the rainbow as kind of like their way of saying we accept this no matter what.
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I could totally do that for you.
Oh man, that's pretty awesome. And the way this program, if you watch frequently, we've had plenty of gay artists on, and that an artist is an artist, and a creative person is a creative person, that kind of stuff. And I've had friends but he's this and that, or she's this and that. I could give a rat's ass. We're here for the town. We're here watching, celebrating people being people, dude.
One of my good friends, she ran the LGBT prom for years. And I met so many amazing people there because I would go and help her, and we would set stuff up and do all sorts of events and stuff with it. Just some of the best memories. I mean, just great. They love wearing just awesome clothes and just having a great time. One of my friends does drag. She's a woman, but she dresses up like a man. And she has this white trash persona that she does. And we just went down, oh God, it's been 6 months now, but we went down to see her perform, and she does a comedy act. And just the environment, it was so much fun. It was just great. Everybody's so happy, and they're just living in the moment.
Exactly, and people look like it's so different. It's just like the way I wake up, throw on my hat, grab a cup of coffee. They wake up and do whatever it is they do. Like, it's, everybody's got their preference. Don't tell people how to live. There's enough of that shit going on right now. Seriously. We welcome everybody here. We welcome talent. Even Allie found her way on here, so it goes to show you that we'll have anybody come on. Kidding. You're awesome. I'm so glad you made it.
I just heard earlier, I never really watch the news, but I do watch, like, E! Network, so I hear, like, little bits. Did you hear that one of the sister wives is leaving?
No!
Done! She finally decided it was too much for her. Like, we all didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's... I don't watch it as religiously. I know of.
I never really watched the show, but, like... I know, like, what it's about and everything. I just, like, I've been, like, sitting there for years, like, how is this show still on? Like, are they still really, like, happy, like, doing this? Waiting for one to leave. She's leaving.
She's leaving. I guess when the cash comes in, anything's fun. And, I always wondered, like, where my limit would be, how far I would go. How far would you go? Like, seriously, let's say tomorrow you're asked to come up with this outrageous show topic and put yourself in a situation. Give me an idea.
I think we should pretend that we're Impractical Jokers.
Oh, I love that show so much.
Yeah, I think, like, we should go out and, like, I have the Impractical Jokers game.
Really?
I actually use it for, like, a little bit of motivation. Inspiration, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should go out and just do stupid stuff.
I like that. And somebody was saying.
One of the funny things I always wanted to do. I always wanted to go to a garage sale like early in the morning, and I used to play Kinky Quizzo all the time. Here, sex. I used to play Kinky Quizzo all the time, where I'd win like sex toys and all sorts of stuff. So I have like a pile. That's a way. But anyway, I always wanted to go up to a garage sale and just set one on the table and walk away and just watch people's reactions. Walking up like, is this really on the table? And just sit there and record it, like, just laugh my ass off.
I do like that. That stuff that's creative. That, to me, that's awesome. And somebody was saying on social media the other day, like, oh, ever since Joe Gatto left Impractical Jokers, it's not the same. Dude, I'll audition. I would love to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's not the same. Let's be real. It's not. He's really funny.
He is. I mean, they're a great group, but, you lose one guy of any group. It's just not the same.
He's pretty good. I think that it's got a different dynamic now. But, like, I mean, the things that they're doing are still funny. It's still the same thing. And I think Sal's pretty funny.
I think as a whole...
I don't really think he's that funny, but he, like, fits in with the dynamic.
Right. I find him funny because he's, like the nerd of the bunch. So watching him get in weird situations is kind of funny because he's kind of nerdy.
Like, when they drew the hair on him or whatever, and it starts, like, that was good.
Or when they shaved, remember when they shaved Q's head and made a wig that Murr had to wear for, like, every episode? Like, that's funny stuff, though. And them guys have been friends forever.
The game is so good, though. I went through just a look. You have to, like, convince people that they should sign a petition that you can, like, marry your, like, first cousin. And, like, weird stuff like that. Like, it's very random, weird things. But, yeah, if I could put anything together, I would probably say something like that.
That's pretty good. I like it. I mean, it's one of those things that you watch the show and you're like, damn, like, why didn't I think of that? Because it's so damn good. Wigs. Well, you've seen the picture. I showed the picture to Allie, of course, already. There is a Jeff with a wig on, For a while, she was known as Jeffney, my ugly twin sister.
Jeffy Longstockings.
Jeffy Longstocking. Look at that hair.
Do people know who Pippi Longstocking is, or is that?
I do.
Is that like an old time reference for us old G's?
But I tell you what, though, that's something that you could do. You could do like a kind of a goth rock Pippi Longstocking thing.
I actually was thinking about it last year for 31 days. Maybe this year. You never know.
There you go. I like the sound of that. So the 31 days. Of course, I'm not trying to bring a bunch of weirdos to your pages and all, but basically, it's a different costume for every day.
I'm trying. Yeah. I either do like it's a whole look. Whatever I'm feeling for the day, basically, that's what I do.
I gotcha. I like that.
Started that I would just do skulls.
Okay.
But then how many skulls can you do? I've done literally have done probably 30 different skulls, like full face, half face from the bottom, like tilted side face, like.
So Ivy wants to find you and get some ideas. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, she's got a lot of cool stuff on her page, and that's, like I said, when I found Allie, there was all these great outfits and the hairdos and the hairstyles, and you just seemed so cool and outgoing. I'm like, yeah, this is like the kind of thing I need for my show. And it was kind of a reason that I started a second night, because I said me and Jewel do the Tuesday, and the second night I'm like, I want different people to come on, guest co-hosts from all different avenues, try different things, learn different things, and this is what we're all about. Like,
I always
people
get a little like self-conscious, I guess, just personally, when meeting someone new online like this and talking, because
sure.
I have one of my vocal cords is messed up, and so for the longest time I hated my voice. But then everybody told me that I kind of sound like
Kathleen Turner.
No, they say Donna from that 70s show.
A little bit, and sorry, I know the wife might watch, but Donna, Jesus Christ. What's that?
I love Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, she had me watching. That wasn't bad. It got a little weird.
In that, so I will take it. So I've learned to kind of accept my voice. It's different.
She says you do. To me, yeah, right. It's a cross between Donna and Kathleen Turner, which is...
But most people are like, that's the voice that's coming out of you? I get that, and oh my gosh, you're so little. Like, people see me in person, and they're like, wow, like, you don't look that little on screen, but...
I agree. You do look more...
I am little.
Little. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with little. As long as you're...
wearing heels, though, when I saw you.
Really? Because you're... I'm not very tall either. As long as a woman never says to me, you look little, because that's kind of tough to swallow.
Yeah, that's bad.
Nah. It's a whole different meaning for men than women. Honestly, really cool sounding and fits your personality. It does. Like, I was surprised by the voice because I expected higher pitched, squeaky, and then when I first heard it, I was like, but there's nothing wrong. I like it. I think it fits you. It does.
It's raspy.
That's raspy's okay. I'm telling you.
I can't sing at all.
No, me neither.
At all. I used to be able to before I messed up my vocal cord, but now, no. I sing something and my son's like, please, Mom, please stop. I get that, there's this really trendy corn song that's going around. And the second I hear it, I'm like, it's in my head for the next half an hour. And every time I sing it, he's like, please stop with the corn song. You sound nothing like it.
Do you ever think in all your time of, because like you said, you like to be a little wild, adventurous, and try different things. Did you ever think you'd be embarrassing Mom?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I go out of my way because I feel like it will build character for him. I'm that mom that shows up to the bus stop and dressed like a shark singing Baby Shark.
Never.
The full song.
Doubt it.
Yep.
Doubt it.
I've done it. And all the kids are like, but Jackson actually is really proud of me. He loves my makeup. He loves when I do the 31 days. Honestly, he usually is giving me a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I bet that. I'm telling you, I'm feeling a new segment. What's up with Allie? There's so many things you could do. So many people out there that are just thrilling to watch and see. No, the funny part is I always keep myself on the big screen. There's a little delay. And I'm just watching you talk your ass off. It's pretty cool. Do you enjoy doing this? I mean, is this like the first time you've ever been on anything like this?
Like this, yes.
Yeah. You're good at it.
But you know what? I love it, and I love interacting with people, and I love talking, obviously. So I'm glad to be here.
I never noticed. Sure, I never noticed you like to talk.
It's so crazy because I was like, wow, 2 hours. Like, that's a really long time. Like, I wonder if we'll be able to, like, talk the whole time. But, yeah, I could go on for probably another hour.
You asked me today probably about 4 times. You said 2 hours? Question mark. And it is. And, you know, when it's me and Jewel, we do topics. And we had topics tonight, but we're actually running close to the end. So we'll save the topics and maybe we'll run past them tomorrow. But I just love learning new stuff about people. And I ask certain people, fellow podcasters, people that have never podcasted or interested in it, I'm like, come on. They're like, I'm not interested. I'm like, just talk. Let people learn you. That gets to be interesting, just learning new shit about people. And I admit, like I said, when I seen you all those times, like, I always want to have her on. And meeting you in person's cool. But, you know, and getting to know a lot of what makes you tick. And like I said, you know, Ivy seems to be a big fan. She watches a lot. She's an awesome girl. She loves everything you're doing. And Ivy's super cool. And some of the people that watch regularly, I do too.
I just got a Poison Ivy costume to do for my 31 days. I am so excited.
Tell you what, with the red hair, it works.
I've been looking for, like, the perfect Poison Ivy, because the one that they have, like, the actual costume, to me, I don't like those, like, turtlenecks that are tight. I just don't like them. So this one is, for me, it's the Poison Ivy Alley edition. But
let me guess. Not to be rude and not to be out of line. It's a sexier Poison Ivy, isn't it?
Oh,
it's kind
of
yeah. I like
short torso, so I like to show off my legs. My
okay.
legs are really long, and
I love Poison Ivy costumes. See, I like women that dress. I see Jewel, who does a show with us, usually she owns 3 different Wonder Woman costumes, and I got to tell you, she nails it because she's taller and
I haven't done Wonder Woman yet because she's another one. Like, you need the perfect outfit.
Yeah, and I said Jewel's got a couple, and she had like the gold one from the latest movie, and then she had the original, and she's so perfect for it. And like, I'm dying to see this Poison Ivy thing. We do like Halloween shows every year. We dress up. I'm thinking maybe like the Wednesday version of Halloween. Maybe you come on and do like a whole costume thing, but slap a bunch of them on for us while we run the show. Of course, you're not taking them off on camera unless that's your thing. Get your audience ready. Yeah, I mean, like, that sounds kind of cool. I love Halloween. I love costumes. I love dress up. And like one year, if you look back at the archives, I came on total blue face with the white beard. It was Papa Smurf. It was obnoxious. The blue got all over everything, but it was such a freaking good time to be on a show like that.
Yeah, everyone's like, every year, everyone's like, witch. I love doing witches. I love doing witches, but I hate doing myself green. Green and red, I hate doing because it's so hard to get off. It gets in my hair. Like, no matter how many times I shower, I'm still finding...
Yes!
Red and green in my ear, like all over the place. All over the place.
I did red the one year for it was the devil, and I did red and put some black highlight in it and the little horns. And I had 2 pillowcases I had to throw out because they're bleached in red, and there was just red everywhere. And it's a pain in the ass. That stuff is tough to get off.
I'm also gonna try and do Powerpuff Girls. That's another one that's been on my list.
That's another one that hits home with Jewel, too, so we got to get her to come on a Wednesday. I know Wednesdays are tough for her, but, man, she would get into that. She's
the girl from Fifth Element. I'm trying to figure out how to wear it, though. because it's that white one, like the really sexy white one.
Oh, Mila Jovovich?
Yeah.
Jovovich? Right, okay, yeah, I got you. See, that's kind of you. You've got that frame.
Lilo or something. Lilo?
Yeah.
Something like that. But, yeah, I have that sexy one, and I got the orange wig to go with it, so.
That would work. See, a purple makeup sounds like that would really be a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. Barney the dinosaur. What else would you be with purple? I
I
don't know.
hated Barney the dinosaur. Hated him when I was a kid.
What?
I knew there was something wrong with that dinosaur.
He's satanic.
Yeah. No, I never liked him. Nope.
Well, I tell you what. I hate to do this to you, but we're going to cut it short because it's the 10 o'clock hour. But,
Okay, I'll be back tomorrow.
yeah, now that you've figured it out. Oh, Purple Witch. See, that's cool, though.
It only took me like an extra half an hour.
I can't.
Started to get in.
I got to tell you, like, when I seen you pop up, I was so excited. Because, like I said, I wanted to do this with you for a while. I always had a feeling it'd be great. You're a terrific talker, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, just talking about random shit is great. You two have a great night. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Allie will be back. DJ Herbie Holler is going to be our guest. So she gets to do a little interviewing, too. Get to ask him some questions, and we'll talk about DJ stuff and parties, and we'll do more of this. We'll talk about strange shit. Huge thanks to our guest tonight, Miss Savanna Leigh. Her scroll is still down the bottom. Don't forget to check out the brand new song, Sad to See You Happy. Excellent song.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for checking us. A lot more people watch recorded than live, so a lot of people will check it out. Savanna Leigh down the bottom, www.savannaleigh.com. Facebook at Savanna Leigh. Instagram at Savanna Leigh Official. Puppies in the house. Bye-bye. Allie will be back with us tomorrow night, Yo 2.0, the Wednesday night version, where we really don't script. We're even more off the cuff. You think tonight's off the cuff? Yo 2.0. I'm so excited. And now that you've figured it out, we'll be ready for tomorrow night. We are going to load up the theme song here. This takes a second, but we'll get it ready to go. St. Ricketts at www.stricketts.com with Fire Cannot Burn. It is our official theme song every Tuesday night. Let me load it. The technology is not as great, Allie. Don't worry. You said you're not tech savvy. We're not overly techy here. There's us on the side. So we're going to take you out. If you don't mind, hang around for like a minute or two, and after we'll just talk about a couple items. Cool.
Yep.
I'll play the song out and then share a moment about some ideas for tomorrow. But for the audience, enjoy St. Ricketts, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, guys.
Good night. Ha!
point of it, just to reach new heights of low. So